Alex grew up in a quiet neighborhood just outside of Kansas City. His parents were kind, hard-working people who believed in stability, get good grades, go to college, find a steady job, live quietly. But Alex was a dreamer. He loved to draw, to create, to imagine worlds that didn't exist. Every time he showed someone his sketches, though, he heard the same thing. "That's nice, Alex, but art doesn't pay the bills." So he did what everyone expected. He followed the safe path, went to business school, got a job in an office downtown, and learned how to smile politely even when he felt like screaming inside. Every morning, he'd drive to work through the same gray streets, coffee in hand, convincing himself this was success. But deep down, he knew he was living a life designed by someone else. One weekend, Alex decided to visit his grandfather, a retired farmer who lived alone in the countryside of Missouri. His grandfather, George Miller, was the kind of man who spoke little but always made sense when he did. When Alex arrived, he noticed his grandfather tending to two saplings in the yard. One was planted outside in open ground, the other was in a clay pot on the porch. Alex smiled and asked, "Grandpa, why two trees?" "They look the same." George chuckled. "They are, but only one's going to make it through the storm season." Alex didn't quite understand, but he helped his grandfather water the plants and went inside. That night, the wind howled like never before. The rain came down in sheets, hammering the roof, rattling the windows. Alex looked outside. Lightning flashed across the sky, illuminating the little trees. The one outside was bending violently in the storm, while the one inside the porch sat safe and still. When morning came, Alex ran out to check. The plant in the pot was perfectly fine, untouched, still standing straight. But the one outside looked beaten, its leaves scattered across the yard. "Guess that one's done for," Alex said. But his grandfather just smiled. "We'll see." Weeks passed. Alex stayed longer than planned, helping his grandfather around the farm while taking a much-needed break from city life. Every day, he'd see the two trees. The one inside looked healthy, but it never really changed. The one outside? It started growing again, slowly but stronger. Its trunk thickened, its roots dug deeper, and new leaves began to sprout. One evening, as the sun dipped below the fields, Alex asked, "Grandpa, how's that tree even alive? It's been through so much." George wiped his hands on his overalls and said something Alex would never forget. "Son, the storm didn't kill it. It built it. The roots had to fight for strength. Every gust of wind forced it to dig deeper. That's how life works too. If you're always protected, you'll never grow." Alex nodded slowly, realizing he wasn't just talking about trees anymore. A few days later, Alex got a call from his manager. "Alex, we need you back next week. You've got potential, but you've got to stay focused. Don't waste time out there in the sticks." Alex hung up and stared out the window. For the first time, he didn't feel fear. He felt clarity. He realized he had been living his whole life trying to meet everyone else's expectations, his parents, his bosses, society's. He'd built his life inside a safe pot, just like that protected tree. No storms, no risks, no real growth. That night, Alex took out his sketchbook, one he hadn't touched in years. He began to draw again, first awkwardly, then freely, like his soul was breathing for the first time. When his grandfather walked in, he smiled softly. "Looks like you're finally letting your roots spread." A year passed. Alex quit his corporate job. He moved to a small apartment in Denver and started his own design business. Freelance, unpredictable, but his. It wasn't easy. There were months when clients didn't pay on time. Days when he doubted himself. Nights when he wondered if he had made a terrible mistake. But with every challenge, he grew. His art started getting noticed online. One of his digital paintings even went viral on social media, capturing the beauty of resilience, a lone tree standing firm in a thunderstorm. The caption read, "Storms don't destroy the strong, they reveal them." And that post? It changed everything. Alex's inbox flooded with messages from people saying his art gave them hope, courage, inspiration. He had finally stopped living for others and started living for himself. A year later, Alex went back to visit his grandfather again. The farm looked the same, quiet golden fields swaying in the wind. He walked to the yard and froze. The two trees stood side by side. The one in the pot was the same, small, fragile, and root-bound. The one outside, though, it was magnificent. Its branches stretched toward the sky, strong and alive, swaying gently with the breeze. Alex placed his hand on the trunk and whispered, "You made it through the storm." His grandfather, standing behind him, said softly, "Just like you. Listen, maybe you're like Alex right now. Maybe you've built a life around keeping everyone else happy. Your parents, your boss, your friends, your followers. You're doing everything right, but it still doesn't feel right. That's because you're living in someone else's pot. You're safe, but you're stuck. If you want to grow, if you want to really live, you've got to step out into the storm. Yes, it'll be scary. People will doubt you. Some will laugh. Others will say you've changed. But remember, the strongest trees aren't the ones protected from the wind. They're the ones that learn to dance with it. Stop asking for permission to be yourself. Stop shrinking to make others comfortable. Stop living for others. Because the world doesn't need another copy. It needs you. Every storm you face in life is not there to break you. It's there to shape you. When life gets hard, that's your roots growing deeper. When people doubt you, that's the wind teaching you balance. When you fail, that's the rain that makes your soil fertile. You are not fragile. You are resilient. You are built for this. So the next time you feel lost, stuck, or afraid, remember Alex's story and his grandfather's words. The storm didn't destroy you. It made you strong enough to stand tall. If this story spoke to your heart, if you've ever felt trapped by expectations or afraid to chase your dreams, remember this moment. Take one small step today toward the life you truly want. And hey, if this message inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us keep sharing stories that remind people just like you that